Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I have a Christmas card, a fun Christmas card to share with you, and it's like a 3D pop-up Christmas card. You can see here, and this bit will fold up like that and it will fit into a regular size, medium size envelope. So let's share how I created this with you. So my stamp set I chose to use today is Horse and Sleigh, and it has a coordinating die set, and you can see it's got this lovely horse and sleigh stamp as well as some trees and some nice greetings. And to start with, I have already done some die cutting so that you're not just simply sat watching me cut out bits and pieces. So the dies, there's a die that will cut out the horse and sleigh in one piece, although you could just cut out and have the horse, or you could just cut out and just do the sleigh, just trim it round so that you can just have one or the other. You don't have to have both. And then we've got 3 different kinds of trees here that I'm using. And then there's some snowdrifts. So we've got dies for snowdrifts. And then we've got dies to put accents on the sleigh. So there's one there which kind of does this piece of the sleigh, and then there's a piece that does the runners, and I've simply cut some out in gold foil, and I attached some adhesive sheet to the back before I did my cutting, so they'll stick nice and easily. And so I was able to get most of my pieces out of a 1/4 sheet of white cardstock. Now I use the thick cardstock rather than the regular to give it a little bit more substance, because it is sort of sitting up unaided. Right. Now I also broke out my blends to do some colouring, and as you can see, I've already done some, but I've got a few hints and tips to share with you on how to do that. And the first thing I'm going to share is the tree. Now I stamped this in black ink. So I used the Tuxedo Memento black ink, and this is what it looks like when it's been stamped. And then I took my shaded spruce, light shaded spruce stamping blends using the bullet end, and I just did little, where there's a black line, I just did little green flicks to just give it more of a sort of a piney look. And I've got this one which I've just left uncolored so I could just show you how this went. So I literally, just using the bullet end, I'm just working over the black lines, and so the black lines still show, but it gives it a bit more, I don't know, it just seems to me to give it a little bit more presence on the card, rather than it just be simply black and white. And then, so that's all I've done, just to create a little bit more texture. And then I'm using the ivory, oh no, sorry, this is called the bronze. So this is the bronze stamping blend, And again, I'm using the bullet end, and I can just use that to do my trunk. And there we are. There's my 2 trees done there. Now, while I've got this one in my hand, I'm going to do a little bit of extra work on the sleigh. And you can see that I've already put in the harness in the bronze again. And this time I'm going to use the brush end. So that's the end that's got the thick line on it. And I'm going to colour the sleigh. So I like to use the side of my brush end. It gives a thicker line, but it also takes the strain off of the tip. The brush end is very soft, and if you're not careful, it can mash and become all frayed. But if you use it very gently, as you can see here, and I'm just following my outline like that, and then I can just fill in the middle. Now, if you're not familiar with Stampin' Blends, they're actually solvent or alcohol markers, and they do bleed through slightly, so you need to make sure that whatever you use these on, the back will be sort of covered or out of sight. I've got lots of videos on using blends that you can find on my channel, and it gives you hints and tips on how to use them. And the more you add, the more you work your way around, the darker it will come. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Now, I've already coloured in my little gifts. I use the same shaded spruce and the little hats and the, if you like, the blanket or the coats that they're wearing. I've used Poppy Parade. And then for the hands and the faces, as well as on the mane and the tail of my little horse there, I've used the ivory one that comes as a pair with the bronze. And just to add an extra little sparkle, I've got my Wink of Stella here. Now, Wink of Stella, if you haven't used it, is basically a liquid glitter, and it gives a lovely sparkle, and I'm putting it on the mane and the tail of the horse, and then on the white parts of their clothes like that. And there we've got our centerpiece. Now I'm going to add these gold pieces to the sleigh. I've just got them in a little pot there so I don't lose them. Just need to just pop out those last few bits. They are nicely cut, but they just stay in a bit. I just need to knock those out. Maybe if you keep those, you could use those in a shaker card. But now, because I have added adhesive sheet to the back of the card, this foil, and I have videos on how to use adhesive sheet as well, then I'm just going to place it on my work surface and use a point, and then I'm just going to scuff up the back, and that will release the, she says optimistically, that should release the backing. There it is. So here's the backing coming off like that. And then I'm just going to line it up. There's some little holes here, and I'm going to line up, if you like, the little holes like that, and press firmly. Doesn't that make a really huge difference? It looks so good. And then this piece, well, you need to work out which way it goes round, because it's got more of a curl to one end than the other. So I know that this is going to attach here. So again, I'm just going to take my tool and just scooch up the backing. There it comes. Like that. And you could use tweezers for this. And I'm just going to lay it down. And I'm just going to follow the line a little bit there and there. I really think that that just picks out the very best features and gives it an extra level of luxuriousness. There we go. So we have our trees, we have our horse and sleigh, and this is one of the other trees, and I've just cut these out of shaded spruce card like that. So there's our pieces, our pop-up pieces for the card there. And we've just got a couple more pieces to decorate. So both of them are the snow drifts, and you probably can't see those terribly well. They're like the snow drifts, and I'm going to add some Wink of Stella onto those as well, so that they'll just gently catch the light and again add to the luxuriousness of my card. There, I think I'll just pick that up, and there, can you see all the glitter of that in there? Right, so there's all our extra pieces. Now my card base colour is shaded spruce, and then I have my white envelope and 2 pieces of Whisper white card. Sorry, basic white. Oh, habits die hard. And one of them I've embossed. Can you see that lovely emboss with the Snowflake Sky embossing folder? So I did that ahead of time so that I could move on and show you how the actual card is made. And for my other piece of white card, that goes on to the back. That's going to be where you write your to you, love from me on your card. So I'm simply going to do a little bit of stamping. And my greeting says, wishing you a season of cheer. And again, I'm using the black ink, the black tuxedo ink. And I also have used the little rabbit. Now, out of the whole set of dies, the only one I didn't use was the rabbit. But I'm using the rabbit on both my back piece as well as my envelope. Isn't he cute? All right. Now, my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece I've just stamped, and so this is 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm attaching it to this piece of shaded spruce, which is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So that's just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to attach this to the other side. I managed to get a little bit of adhesive where I don't want it, but that's fine. So now I've stuck those two together, I'm going to set them aside for a moment so it can sort of just dry a little bit. Now I have a piece of shaded spruce here, and this measures 4 3/4 this away and 5 1/2 this away. And I have scored it, you can see lots of score lines. So I've scored it at 3/8, 7/8, 1 3/8, 1 7/8, 2 7/8, 3 3/8, 3 7/8, and 4 3/8 at the end. Now, I will have that information on the recipe, which you'll find if you look below this video. You'll find a link to my blog, and that information will be there. So I'm going to put in all of my scores now, and using my bone folder, and I'm just going to open up each one and then put the next one in, and they're all going in the same direction. Okay, so because we're going to end up with basically 2 tubes, and I'll show you that when we get to that point. So what will happen is that you've got this wide piece here, which is about 1 inch, and this bit is going to fold in, and like there, you're going to have a tube, and then this one is going to fold in like that. So you're going to end up with 2 tubes with a little opening there, and this is the base. We're going to use some double-sided tape, and I'm going to put double-sided tape on the 2 ends like that. And then I'm going to put another piece on one side in the gap next to this one. And it doesn't matter which side you put it in, because this is like symmetric. It's the same both sides. So we're going to put that one in like that. I'm just going to use my bone folder to smooth that down, make sure that that adhesive takes. Now, one at a time, I'm going to remove the backing, and I'm going to bring this round. Oh, it helps if you do it that way, Cindy. I'm going to bring this round and square it up, and then hold it firmly, and then pull the rest of this out, and then that should stick down. And then I'm going to just pull it down and flatten it like that, so I get good adhesion. All right, so that's one side. Now the other side, we're going to leave this one on and take this one off. And so then I'm just going to fold that in. And just make sure it squares up like that. Hold it together. And it moves. So now I've got this like this, and this one I'm going to just gently push up and make sure it's all sticks down, and then I can square it up again like that. And then here I've still got my opening, and I've still got a piece of tape in the middle. Right. So this is the piece that we prepared. It's got the greeting on the back and the embossed piece here. And we're going to attach a couple of our trees. So I'm just going to use some liquid like this. And I want to position it so that it doesn't go sort of outside of the card. And if necessary, I'll have to trim a piece off, but that's okay. And then I'm going to get one of the little green trees that I cut out of shaded spruce. And I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive on the tips, like that. And I'm just seeing if I've got some tweezers handy. I don't. Oops. And I'm just going to pop this one just about here. And press it firmly down. So there's my two trees on the background. Now the other ones I want to have in this little groove. So I'm going to take the tape off here, and then with my other trees I'm going to just kind of put this on the side like that, line it up, and I'm just going to pop my other trees in the little gap like this, making sure that this one isn't outside the edge of the card, and then I can squeeze those together like that. Now when the card is mailed, we're going to push it up like this. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to persuade that card to nicely push up, and I'm going to really press firmly to make sure that middle piece is nice and firmly stuck. So there I have my two trees in the groove. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my snow drifts on, and they will overlap slightly. And I've just, as you can see, I've just lined them up with the bottom of the card like that. Right. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add some double-sided tape to the back panel here, so at the back of the trees. And where did my card go? There we go. There we are. And I'm going to now attach it so that my fold here is level with the bottom of the card there. So I'm just going to line it up, press firmly. I just found this paintbrush, which makes an excellent way to pressure it down. And then I'm just going to go back again and gently ease that up. And that will allow me to press that piece down so it all attaches together. Then we got our little pony and sleigh, and I'm going to add a glue dot to each of his hooves. One, so there's 3 kind of showing. And then a couple to the sleigh. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Like that. And then I'm going to add that to the bottom, and I'm going to line up this with the snowdrift, and again press firmly. We don't want to put adhesive anywhere else because then it won't fold, or it will fold but then it'll stay stuck. So there we have our really cute little 3D pop-up winter scene. And just to add a final bit of luxury, I've got some ribbon here. This is a little gold ribbon, and I'm going to make myself a bow. It's a new pack. So I'm just going to break this seal. Well, I'm making a right mess of this. There, I think I've got that. There we go. So we'll make a quick bow, and I use the rabbit ear technique. So we've got 1 loop, 2 loops, and then cross over and put that loop through the crossover, and then pull and just gently tidy up. Now, I have also got videos on making bows, so you can go and find those on my channel. And another glue dot. And this kind of just finishes off. And just an extra bit of glitter. I mean, we haven't got enough glitter, so I'm just going to add a few rhinestones so that they add to the top. So there we have our 3D pop-up little sleigh card featuring the horse and sleigh stamp set with the coordinating dies. Well, I really do hope that you've enjoyed this video and this style of card. If you have, perhaps go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and share my videos with your friends. So that's this particular card. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now.